Good day. Good day, my friend. You know, the difficult thing about doing what I'm doing here and doing what I'm doing with you is to try to balance reality with show business. And this is show business. And there's one thing that you must remember, and I'm sure you do know this, and I'm sure this is nothing that is news to you. And it goes something like this. People do not want to hear the truth. They want to hear that which they want to be true. Nobody really wants to hear the truth. Oh, you talk about the truth. I just want the truth. No, you want the truth that comports with your world view. And I understand it. I understand it. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. Now, there are people who are Trump acolytes to the point where they are just, I've never seen anything like it. It's like it's like a cult. It's like, what is this? I don't understand it. I know people who go to Mar-a-Lago and just think it's like heaven. It's like, Mecca, their Hajj or something. I don't want to go to Mar-a-Lago. It has no, I think, what is this? Whatever you think about Donald Trump as a president, you have to look at the case against him now, and you can say, yes, certainly there are political aspects of this. It's a very simple question. If Donald Trump were not the ostensible nominee, if he were not the nominee, do you think there'd be any chance whatsoever that he would be charged with this? Seriously? Do you really? Do you think there would be any chance that he would be charged with this? Not only this, 6, count them, 6 total different charges and claims and, I get subject matter. Do you think so? You have to be out of your mind to think that there's any way that Trump is that there's just this real concern on the part of the Manhattan DA over falsified business records. Come on. Okay, that's the motivation. Okay? Let's all agree to that. Does that motivation mean anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It means nothing. It means nothing. It's great on TV. It's great on Fox or whatever you want. You might enjoy that. But it doesn't mean anything. You can't go before a judge and say, Judge, we would dismiss. Well, this is motivated by politics. Really? Well, say no more. What is the matter with people? You're smarter than that. You know that. What difference does that make? There's always a motivation for something. There's always a motivation. There's always a motivation. Do you understand that? Unfair is not a defense. Correct. You got that? Now, let me also explain something to you, and maybe you might not like this, but here's what I would demand if I represented, and anybody who represents Donald Trump today, your career, provided it's not of this, how do I say this focus of practice, you will be so blackballed forever. No firm is ever going to touch it. You will get no public, contracts, no big business. Nobody will be you're radioactive after this, and that's fine. And certain people do this. Bill Kunstler and Sarah and all these. Sometimes these activist lawyers would realize that this is one of the things that we do. We take on these people. There were some, who was it? Jake Stein, and some can do it. Who was the other one? Jake Stein and oh God, Aristotle, the one who represented Lewinsky, not Ginsburg, but they took on, terrorists and whatever. But this is different. Donald Trump's in a different category altogether. Okay? So, his lawyer, by the way, a friend of ours referred to him as, his lawyer, Joe Tapioca. I said, who? No, Tacopina, whatever. So anyway, that's our big joker. True. It sounds like a street name or something. But I've got to tell you something right now, and I hope you don't mind this. If I represented Trump, I would say, I have complete and total control. If you do something that violates what I say, I'm out of here. I don't care. I'm just not going to be a part of this. And the first thing you're going to do is you're not going to tweet. You're not going to go on social media and mention the judge's daughter, wife, show pictures. And I want to direct this to Don Jr. Don, I don't know anything about you. Never met you. I have no idea. He likes the, dare I say, the folks in the bar who would say, yeah, that's his crowd. He loves it. He says some very mean, very smart, there's no doubt about that, inappropriate, strategically boneheaded. Why are you doing this? The whole thing, sometimes the way things look. Remember when his friend Kimberly, she was standing there screaming, and the best is yet, come. She's in the White House by herself saying the best is yet to come. There's nobody there with this echo. And they're I don't get that. Do you not want to look like an idiot? Does it mean something to you? Don't look like an idiot. You look like an idiot. But you see, if you want to be an idiot on your own time, that's your business. But you're going to hurt your father. So what does he do? Well, they're showing pictures of the daughter of the judge. How stupid is that? Oh. Right now, as we speak, there are charges that are being considered, being thought of, regarding January the 6th. Now, you can think all you want. You can say, oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. By the way, I did a brand new video on this at Lionel Legal. Please, I'm telling you. Lionel Legal. That's the other YouTube channel. It's a Jim Dandy. And I go through this and explain some things. Not only mention Lionel Media, where I go really into depth. But for purposes of this is kind of like a Whitman sampler. Just kind of like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You've got a case right now saying a case in which the judge has said, now listen, I don't want to do anything or say anything about your, dare I say, your tweets and the like. And I'm not going to issue a gag order, but be very careful, especially regarding talks about violence. Remember that he said, no, I don't like that picture of that bat. That was the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. He's got a picture of a bat or something. Whether somebody did that, whether he superimposed it, I don't know the full facts, so I'll leave it at that. I'll assume somebody else did this. But as the January 6th case, this is being bandied about, and you are being perhaps looking at the possibility of seditious conspiracy, and you're basically reminding folks, yeah, he does that. He and his son go on and they show a picture of the judge's daughter and mention his wife because she happens to work for Carmelita Harris. Let me explain something to you. He's in New York. He's a Democrat. He was appointed by the Democratic machine. Think Tammany Hall, but not as obvious. New York is one big Democratic. You think the daughter and her working with Harris it means anything? Look at who he is. But you see, people don't care about that. They go, oh, I don't care. Someone writes, an eye for an eye. I don't know what that means. That's that stupid theory, that thinking, that gets you in trouble. Oh, you're going to be right. Now, let me also tell you something. Do you think this judge, seriously, is going to dismiss this case? Yes or no? Do you think this judge is going to say, well, you know what? We have a number of problems here. We have the statute of limitations. I'm going to dismiss on that. We have the fact that this fails to state a crime. We're going to dismiss on that. The indictment fails to mention a crime that he was trying to cover up. I'm going to dismiss on that. So I'm going to dismiss this now in December. 8 months from now. Do you think so? Do you really think so? Are you kidding me? He'd have to move. I don't think that, you talk about people like retribution. There's a lot of folks who are of the wrong political way. I mean, you talk about, they've mentioned, BLM and Antifa and this and that. You don't think some quisling, you want to be the judge in New York? Did you see the crowd the other day? You want to be, look what they do to Supreme Court justices. You want to be some state court, Supreme Court judge here, lower trial level in New York, and you want to dismiss a case against Trump? What? I wouldn't be surprised. And if somebody does say, I'm not going to do it, let the Court of Appeals dismiss it. I'm not going to do it. And the reason for it is simply this. Do you think for a moment that there is no reason or basis or possibility or avenue or angle for these folks to, what am I trying to say, to uphold this indictment? Of course there is. Do you think it is without any, do you think that Alvin Bragg, do you think he worked by himself? No. Did he work long hours by himself with one of the printer's visor, with a taper in the garret, writing this? Let's see. I'm going to claim 34. No, that he had more help, more assistance, more amici briefs than you can imagine. He had more, on their own time. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I don't care what Dershowitz or Turley or Andy McCarthy or anybody said. You may think it stinks. I think it stinks. I don't care. Now, does that mean this system is corrupt? Where the hell have you been? Where have you been? Okay? Where have you been? Are you kidding me? So you think he's going to do that? Next. Can Trump be convicted? Absolutely. Absolutely. On that case. On one or all those charges, yeah. Trump could easily be guilty of 34, unless there's some motion. He might say, look, I'll do a motion to consolidate the offenses. We'll knock him down to 5. But do you think Trump, are you in la-la land? You don't think he can be convicted? Now, some have gone so far as to say he will be convicted, I predict. Well, that's not exactly a great prediction or going out on a limb, but it's exceedingly possible. Do you know what it's like to be the first prosecutor to get a conviction, a felony conviction, and Donald Trump is a convicted felon and he can't vote, possess a firearm, usual citizen, serve as a juror, run for office, except President Eugene V. Debs in 1912 or something ran for president while in the pokey, or the pookie as they call it. And even Joe Tapioca knows that one. So do you understand what this is? Convicted felon, Donald Trump, convicted felon. You don't think that's possible? I want to go this far. I'm this far from saying bet on it. But there's too many intervening, there's just there's some things in the works that are, A plea? I don't think so. I don't think there's any plea that's even available. Okay, well, knock it down or whatever. I don't think Trump's going to take. Can you imagine Trump in a courtroom? And you think that jury is going to find him not guilty? Maybe hang it up. Maybe a mistrial. Do you think that's possible? Where are these people? When you watch TV and you see these people and they're wonderful, they say, what world do they live in? I heard Bill Barr talk about the case. I don't think he knew what he was talking about. Do you think Trump could go to jail? Well, I think that no, he's not going to go to jail. No, first-time offender. No. There are no state sentencing guidelines, but everybody within reason says, and the reason why his accountant's in jail, it was a negotiated plea, so he went there knowing this. See, this is the part where I say you don't want to hear the truth, because I've got these friends who are like Trump acolytes, and we're going to go to Mar-a-Lago, and we're going to, sit at the foot of this. Say, what are you doing? Can you possibly maintain an adult perspective on the president, on President Trump? Must you act like this? I don't understand this. Why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like this? He's in, I don't want to say serious trouble regarding all these cases. But let me also remind you, and I'm the only person, I think, because there are these other people and they sit around and they just we'll just talk with, it's Trump, this is ridiculous, this is a joke. No, it's not a joke. I don't understand this. Do you not go on Fox? Is that it? They don't say this anymore. Don't say that. Why? Well, you said that Trump could be convicted. Yeah. We don't want that. You sure about that? Especially in view of Dominion? That's a different story. Second and third case, Jack Smith, January 6th, and Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago, serious stuff. But as a friend of mine says, talk show host, it doesn't matter. They're not classified. We're not talking about classified documents. No, they don't have to be classified. What are you talking about? Well, he declassified them. Quit saying the Espionage Act has nothing to do with classified information. That's not it. It's the obstruction part. Huh? You don't know this, do you? Of course not. I'm just a commentator. Okay. All right. January 6th. Oh, come on. Read seditious conspiracy. Dear God, that's the worst. It's the scariest statute of them all. You don't know how many people are there lined up that they've scared. You don't know how many people are going to flip on Trump. Yep, I was there, and Trump said that we're going to stop that vote. What was that? You're going to interfere with a law that's two or more people conspiring by force or by whatever to interfere, and lo and behold, there's January 6th. Oh, you get all those people from all the Proud Boys and the So-So Boys and the whatever these people are. I don't know what they have. So that's cases 2 and 3. Case number 4, civil case involving Tish James, which is a very interesting case where they said Trump and his organization overinflated the value of property. Tish, that's what bank appraisers are for. What are you talking about? That's 4. 5 is the Fulton County, the Georgia case. That's still there. People just dismiss it. They think it's nothing. They, in their own minds, say, what does it matter? Really? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, huh? No, of course not. Okay. Great. Glad you think so. That's terrific. And then number 6, this is the one that to me bothers me the most. It's a civil case. Southern District of New York, civil case. E. Jean Carroll, sexual assault, with 2 women who are going to come in and say, yep, that happened to me too. They're going to Weinstein him. Plus he access Hollywood stuff, and you're going to hear this boorish Trump, and you're going to say, that doesn't matter. The other day, Kayleigh McEnany, she came forward and she said that the the Trump, the suburban mom. They used to be called the soccer moms, but this suburban mom is going to come forward, and this suburban mom. Well, when that suburban mom hears about this case, the way I envision it, oh dear God. But nobody wants to talk about that. So in the meantime, what do you have? You got Don Jr. trolling on social media, going on, podcasts, and just digging it deeper, making the red dot on his father brighter and larger and more intense, and just making it, if there's any chance, anything that could have possibly existed to maybe not give Trump a break, but just maybe sort of look the other way, maybe, it's done now. It's done. It's finished. It's through. It's over with. It's personal. And they're going to take this to the end. And you've got a judge who's going to say, if you think I'm going to give up my future with the attorney general position, federal judgeship, federal judge, federal. You don't think this guy will be the toast of the judiciary? Oh my God. The next time Biden says, we got a few more positions coming up. I don't know how many, if there's any vacancies in the Southern District, but you never know. Never know. Play your cards right. Okay. How'd you like to be the attorney general? How'd you like that one, huh? Maybe, huh? Would you like to do that? Merrick Garland isn't easy. Merrick Garland is not exactly what we had in mind. We need somebody stronger, and yeah. Or maybe someday for Supreme Court. You never know about. Because when Gavin Newsom runs, we're going to be needing somebody. Yeah. Or you could dismiss the complaint. You could have all that as a viable possibility, or you can dismiss the indictment, rather. You can find that the statute of limitations has lapsed. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you do that, your name is mud. You're through. You're finished. Okay? And everything else I can't promise you. And by the way, your daughter, she's a young lady. She's on her way. She's got a future. Democratic politics, liberal progressive. Be ashamed if her career was also sullied. See, because that's what we did. We showed you, like with the Trump family. This is what we do with them. How's Ivanka's patterns or copyrights or her clothing line? Yeah. We don't forget this stuff. You don't think that's possible, do you? Of course not. And a jury? I could do this. Hello, Marge. Yes. Guess what? Yes. I'm going to be on the Trump jury. What? Yes. Now, I can't talk about it. All right. But listen, I'm going to be on the Trump jury. Wow. Jeez. What are you going to do? I don't know. You're going to do the... I can't talk about it. And and I know that as soon as they get that juror, number one, they're on the phone, whether it's through, Random House, there's going to be a book deal. Who's going to write the first book? What was it like behind the scenes, going to court every day? Oh my God, the Manhattan driving from Trump Tower back and forth every day. Day 3. Oh, and it's so great too for everybody else because Biden can just look the other way. He can do other stuff too, this is just. So anyway, now I also want you to go to Lionel Legal, and we're going to talk about this maybe tomorrow because I've got some business Zooms coming up this morning early, but I want you to do a couple of things here. First, under Lionel Legal, there is something called the Criminal Legal Studies. And criminal legal studies are important for you to understand. Criminal legal studies. Hang on. Critical legal studies. I've been saying critical and criminal and getting them confused. And I think that's a very interesting Freudian slip. And critical legal studies is a theory which has been around since the 70s and 80s, in which it states the law is necessarily intertwined with social issues, particularly stating that the law has inherent social biases. And proponents of CLS, this is because critical race theory came from this. Proponents of CLS, or criminal legal studies, believe that the law supports the interests of those who create the law. As such, CLS states that the law supports a power dynamic which favors the historically privileged and disadvantages the historically underprivileged. CLS finds that the wealthy and the powerful use the law as an instrument for oppression to maintain their place in the hierarchy. And many in the movement want to overturn the hierarchical structures of modern society, and they focus on the law as a tool. And that's according to the Cornell Law School site. And that is the reason why Alvin Bragg and others want to let criminals go. This has been around forever. They have told you this. It's no surprise. This gave birth to the critical race theory. This is where we are today. Ironically, the same people like Alvin Bragg who want to change the course and the focus of criminal behavior think nothing of going after President Trump. How about that? Phenomenal. My friends, I want to remind you that we have 4 sponsors whose names and information are provided here. Number 1, we have, of course, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. And their toppers. Look at if you can't afford, if you have a new mattress, how about a topper? It's a whole new world. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Number 2 is My Patriot Supplies. And that website is preparewithlionel.com. Emergency food for emergencies. Kind of makes sense. They are number 1, by far, the best and the only group you should even consider. That's number 2. Number 3 is EMP Shield, electromagnetic pulse. You know what that's about. I know what that's about. Many of us know what that's about. And you don't want to be without this protection. Veteran-owned, American-made, right there. EMP Shield. You can see the link in the description section. And finally, again, another shield against immune problems is this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful admixture called Z-Stack. Z-Stack, there's a link right there. Use my link. It's the best. A beautiful combination of vitamin C, D3, zinc, vitamin C rather, zinc, and quercetin. Yesterday, Gregor had a great article I read about berries. Why are berries so important? Because of the pigments, because of the colors. And that's the part of the bioavailable phytonutrients that are readily available as antioxidants, such as quercetin, which is in here. This is a flavonoid. This is anti-inflammatory. Your endothelium will thank you. So, my friends, remember, follow me at Lionel Legal. Oh, I've got these little buttes coming out, and people just do. They don't like what I have to say because I'm not sucking up to. I'm supposed to change my legal opinion because of what? Because no, I'm telling you the truth. Whether you like Trump or not, or thought he was great or bad, this is a juridical analysis. All right. So we'll be back tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. New time, I should say, 8 a.m. Eastern time, which I like a lot better. Until then, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you so much. And don't forget these words, as we always say, the monkey's dead, the show's over, sue ya, ta-ta. Let me try this.